did play in the group, and they actually lost their opening game. They went down 2-1 to Namibia. So if they are to start slow this time around, it will be far more consequential, as they will be out of the running for the cup competition. Mercifully though, for the teams involved at this stage, Brian Mate, if they lose, they go into the plate semi-finals. So their journey at least will continue in the competition.
It's not about the early flight anymore. They still have an opportunity. So Eswatini coach saying that Dominic say they've got to watch the spaces, they've got to minimize the spaces. I hope it's not about being worried too much about the opponents, but more about imposing your game onto the opponent.
Well, they come up against a team that are much fresher than they. Eswatini had been training out at the Chatsworth Stadium. They would have been focusing a lot of their efforts on recovery. They played on the 10th, that being Sunday, so they've had a couple of days to rest. Now poked through, and that was really nicely done. Opportunity from the cross. It's collected by Gamedze. So to get away from him. Senegal purportedly playing with 3 at the back. We'll scrutinize that closely over the course of the match to see if that was just a bit of misdirection on the team sheets, or if indeed that is how they intend to operate.
Well, the one thing about this game of football, your system can always be adaptable, or it has to be adaptable based on what you're up against.
Eswatini in possession once again. Look how swiftly they are being closed down. This is Smablesa. He's had a good tournament so far. Now Peter Dlamini, who debuted in their opening game against Mauritius. He stood steady at the back. The side have conceded just 1 goal so far. Peter Dlamini, as well as Kwake Twala at the back for Eswatini, have had their cards expunged from the record. They are cancelled out after the group stages. Both picked up a caution apiece. Not so lucky for Fanelo Mamba, who received 2 cautions. He was booked against Lesotho in their final group game. That does carry over into the group stages, so he misses out. That's, I think he still might be having nightmares of the previous meeting with Senegal in the semi-finals of last year's tournament, because he was dismissed in that game, shown a red card after 2 cautions, and it did cost Sihlangu, who were up 2-1 at that point. Senegal managed to draw level at 2-2 and then beat them in the shootout. So we have a small point of reference, although it shouldn't hold all too much weight, considering that the Senegal side is almost entirely changed.
Question is, do they know the concept of how Senegal as a nation, entire nation senior team plays? They're all about retaining the ball, and I think that's been the emphasis, using the ball quite well, being very comfortable. And no wonder after the sort of tournaments they get to be signed, a lot of those players.
Yeah. Looking for an option here. Wilson Di. He's touched it back, and the cross it was eventually forthcoming from Amadou Ndiaye into the clutches of Sandanezwe Matebela. 2 clean sheets to his name so far this tournament. As Pap Tiao looks on, a man who played for a fair number of clubs, but had some success at Lausanne in Switzerland and Strasbourg in France. course, with Aliou Cisse not coming to this particular tournament, there will always be a different coach installed. Senegal looking to make tracks down their right-hand side. It's decent defensive work done by Eswatini. Of course, last year, the man at the helm was Joseph Koto, may his soul rest in peace. Another former player of Senegal. So Bello Denise has nipped in there, and I think he's been clipped on the ankle.
He's their main man.
He is.
Zenisa. Getting some special attention. Quick off the mark.
Those in hot goal scoring form, 3 goals in a row for the Mbabane Highlanders man. It's taken him up to 15 senior international goals, and on the brink of equaling countryman Felix Badenhorst with 9 in terms of being the all-time record scorer at the COSAFA Cup, currently on 8. So potentially big game for him, just from a personal standpoint.
Is he aware of how important this game is for him as an individual? Because if there is, then you push for everything. I'm sure if there can be a penalty, he'll be the first to go for it.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. Remember that Nkonta opened the scoring, the captain, from the penalty spot against Mauritius in that 3-0 win. But when it really came down to it and they earned an injury time penalty against Malawi, trailing 1-0 in their second game, it was Zenisa who stepped up as the man for the big moment. Now they need to defend this, and they haven't done so particularly well. That is a free kick, whether it was meant to nestle in the top corner or not, that has bypassed the glove man and gone straight in. And Eswatini trail here to the invitees, Senegal.
It throws off out of the window the game plan that you've had. If you are Eswatini, to say we've got to stay compact, we've got to keep our structure, we've got to do something. And when you concede so early in the game, what, in the 8 minutes, you concede, and you would have thought this, but he sold himself out. He came up too early. He came out too early and missed the flight of the ball because he committed too early. He couldn't even go higher because he had committed too early. It's an embarrassing thing for Matabela. Sandanezwe.
Now the 18-year-old from Generation Foot, Lamin Camara, fell to his knees after scoring what is his first international goal on his debut, as you rightfully pointed out, just 8 minutes into his Senegal debut. And now Eswatini trail.
On TV for Lamin Camara, it looked very nice, but it's an embarrassing one for the keeper, Matabela Sandanezwe. They've been known to have character to bounce back. Eswatini, can they bounce back conceding so early in the game? It also puts pressure on Senegal on how they're going to defend their lead.
Eswatini very experienced at the quarterfinal stage of a COSAFA Cup. This is the 10th quarterfinal tie they are contesting since their first in 1999. Nice little turn there from Spuniso Ngwenya. He's lofted the ball over, and it has come promptly back in. potentially another opportunity to lift something in from Twala on the left-hand side. Ben Ibrahim ruling in favour of Senegal and Al Haj Balde.
One of our colleagues, Sizwe Mabena, would say when you have such good touches, he would say you are nice. And I think for me, Twala is nice. He's got good touches.
Yeah, he is. Eswatini. Again, they threaten. And it's going to be very hard to beat Ali Fati. Even in a situation like that, he stands at 2 meters tall, the Senegal goalkeeper, and he just stretched that wiry frame out to grab this.
They're not out of it. Eswatini, they are still in it, willing to push. That's the mentality they have.
Knows that he has quite a task on his hands this afternoon. It was with Cheikhou Ndiaye and Melo Ndiaye. Yes, there are 4 Ndiayes on the field for Senegal.
You just have to mention the names because you would never know. It's like if you're doing an Ivory Coast game, you'll find similarities. Kamara is the most popular name.
Well, like William Shongwe pointed out the other day, you could have an Eswatini team that had 5 Glaminis in it. Today it's just 2. Oh, another decent cross in. And still alive for Senegal. Only partially cleared, and the acrobatic effort is wide of the mark from Buli Sambo.
They look nervous, they look shaky, Eswatini at the back. But then you've got to give credit to Senegal to say it is all about imposing themselves onto the opponent and taking advantage of the fact that they look a little bit disjointed. Eswatini at the back.
Well, that back 3, and we'll call it a back 5 to include the goalkeeper, has been entirely unaltered over the course of this tournament. They've all played every single minute, haven't been subbed once. In fact, there's 7 players in this starting 11 that have played every single minute, and there's an 8th in Sfiso Matse that was withdrawn in just one game right towards the end of it, 3 minutes shy of full time. So they've been very consistent in that regard, but with consistency in a tournament that employs this structure, with that consistency comes potentially a few very weary legs, considering the nature of the group stages.
Now, here's another twist to what you say. You're playing against a Senegal team that will probably want to retain the ball as much and get you to chase and look for it, and that could spell problems for Eswatini in terms of fatigue starting to creep in.
But we wouldn't bet against them not managing a goal and coming back into this game.
It's the mentality.
Yeah, it's just, will Senegal potentially be out of sight by the time they do find the back of the net? And I say why I'm so confident in them potentially getting the goal that they need. They are currently on their longest ever run of scoring in consecutive games, at 7 in total, which dates back to the previous tournament. The last time they failed to score was in their second group game of 2021, when they were shut out by the hosts South Africa and the eventual champions indeed. This is Melo Ndiaye, 27-year-old from Jarraf. Squeeze through for Sambu. Across from Al-Hajj Balde. Easily cut out. Kamedze.
You know, you have two teams that play such simple football, but so much quality in it. I mean, if you look at how comfortable Eswatini is in terms of how they use the spaces, that's a great improvement, and it's been coming gradually, and you can see now they're starting to mature into the playing concept.
Appearance number 60 for Zanisa today for Eswatini. Of course, it's always lucrative across the border for Eswatini players, but Zanisa has been suspended for the past 2 years in terms of playing in South African football. The troubles he had signing contracts in Bombela and Sporting. A couple of seasons back that actually saw Bombela relegated, but he is quite the talent and he's lurking. This time the cross is over him.
I wanted the Goalkeepers Association Chairman William Shongwe to say we need to have another great goalkeeper in Mzansi. The last generation was, I think, him, you know, being this outstanding goalkeeper and a prolific goal scorer in Skaratintwa. These are colleagues, I'm putting them under so much pressure, and I happen to have had the honor to play against and alongside them. So it is pressure for them to go and find another finest goalkeeper and the finest striker. I'm sure Chakla Shongo will say, but why are you leaving me out?
One of the new generation that are coming through. There's certainly players that have impressed at this tournament. It's good to see that Neliso Tlamini is getting a run out this afternoon. Menzini Wanderers man. It's just 20 years of age. The same true of Kwake Twala and left backs in South Africa. I guess they, I wouldn't say in short supply, but it's not like they are growing on trees. And Twala, just 20 years of age. Someone might want to take a gamble on him. He's already at double figures in terms of caps for Eswatini. Today his 11th. I think he's been one of the standout players for the team.
He is. I think
there he is.
You look at physically, he's a typical fullback, so comfortable. You know, almost the height of Laila Kay, but stout, physically very strong and comfortable on the ball. And you're right, I'm sure someone is watching.
Misjudged in the middle of the park by Alassane Faye. Zanisa has something to chase. He's up against Melo Ndiaye.
Nothing mellow in terms of that approach. Very aggressive.
You've got to be aggressive when you're dealing with the spear. Sfiso Matze up against two. And Musa Ndiaye has been able to come away with this one. Now Senegal keep it moving. A switch out to Lamine Diadou. So Diadou. And over to Amadou Ndiaye. Diadou again. Capable of linking up with the teammate. Kamedze losing out to Musa Ndiaye. Eswatini have won it back. Kamedze has it again. This is with Neliso Tlamini. His pass forward cut out. Well, this is the 5th time in the COSAFA Cup that Eswatini are meeting a guest nation. The first time was in 2013 in the group stages. They lost 2-0 to Kenya, but 2 years later they beat Tanzania in the group stages by 1-0, and then DR Congo in the 3rd-4th playoff in 2016. Most recently it was Senegal last year, that semi-final encounter after a 2-all, with the Lions at Teranga triumphing in the shootout. It's not a bad record against guest nations though. Now Zanisa slipped in. Zanisa to Gamete, and Gamete shot! Is scrambled away, still alive, potentially here for Eswatini. Eventually cleared by Alison Fine. Well, Gamete ended up in so much space after receiving from Zanisa. And many around this ground will be feeling as though he should have stuck that away.
I think so. I also think that Fati did the spade work. This is Zanisa. Setting up his teammate. Look at the keeper coming out. He had to throw that big body to try and deny that. What a let off. But we spoke about the mentality of bouncing back. That's exactly what they're doing.
Well, the mistake originally came from Chekun Di, who misjudged that cross in, but he was also the man, and he's having a huge gulp of water at the moment to recover and get the ball away from Gamete's feet as he looked to follow up. Now, problem here for Anu Fati, the 23-year-old from Casa Sport de Ziguinchor. He's a local lad born in Ziguinchor in Senegal. But he's really grown in prominence over the years. He was the 4th choice at the Africa Cup of Nations and upgraded to 2nd choice after Edouard Mendy and Gomis were diagnosed with COVID-19. And technically an AFCON winner with that squad. Well, halfway through the first period here, Dominic Kunene's men trail, but I think he will be enthused with what he's seen from them since conceding that goal. They have fashioned a fair few chances. One of our ambassadors, Hollywood-Bets COSAFA Cup ambassadors, Mr. Sangweni at the back, watching on, enjoying this game.
I think for me, after Mbulelo Mavizela, who was perhaps the youngest captain at Orlando Pirates.
You're about to make a very bold statement, but go ahead.
To win the league. He was amongst the best centre-backs. Such an intelligent defender. He played football the modern way that we play it now.
Sure.
Where you build from the back, so comfortable, smart. Bafana and Orlando Pirates, you can talk golden arrows as well.
And you can also credit he and Brilliant Kuzwaya for the really decent crowds we've seen, because they've been drumming up support in and around this area, encouraging people to come and watch the Hollywood-Bets COSAFA Cup. It's picked up by Guenia. Did link up with Dlamini. Dlamini trying to latch onto this one, but Amadou Ndiaye has got there ahead of him and was about to stray out for what would have been a corner if he had not been impeded. Did he realize the ball was going to run out and just fling himself to the ground? That's probably why you heard the reaction from the crowd.
The assistant, the referee were always near the action. That's what I will always say.
Eskamete almost caught on it. Oh, mistake at the back from Senegal. Zanisa not quite in the vicinity to capitalize on that.
I think there's a bit of a weakness in that Senegalese defense. I think when they are put under pressure, they've got some vulnerabilities that you can pounce on. We've already seen a shot on target, almost actually a goal by Eswatini.
Acrobatically cleared away. He's an all-action defender, is Amadou Ndiaye. Senegal making a change with the Diamba man Al-Haj Mane withdrawn, and an opportunity now from the bench for Valérie Bassen. Years of age. That was a back post. Of course, with a leap like that, standing at 2 meters tall, it's going to be very, very difficult for Eswatini to profit from any aerial balls into the box.
I think they're deliberate in how they're approaching this game, Senegal. They want to drop the tempo from time to time, pounce at the right moment. Not so safe if you're actually trying to keep the ball in your own half.
Position on the right. Ball lofted towards the back post. Eswatini looking to escape through Lyndon Konta. Easily cleaned up by Melo Ndiaye. Fati dispenses that from the back. Loose pass towards Alassane Faye's been able to recover. And again, Faye's read the situation well. Now this could be potentially dangerous for Senegal. Eswatini winning the ball in an advanced area and then not taking enough care with the subsequent pass.
I like the word you're using. Not enough care. You've just won possession, and you've got to be able to use it effectively. There's a player down. Senegal on the far side. We already had a forced change for them. The coach Dominic will be happy so far with the attempts and the fact that they've managed to repackage themselves and started probing into that Senegal box. Already managed to force a save out of Aloui Fati. He seems to be okay. At some point he was injured himself, but seems to be okay.
He's imploring the referee to protect him. Raj Balde, and is making his 6th Senegal appearance. Turns out for Jingu in terms of his domestic football. Guinea got it moving again, but Mabalesa run away from him. Now to Twala. Tanisa tried to return it to the full-back. Senegal in possession. Stab through for Lamine Camara, who's in quite a bit of space here. Only really Bully waiting. He's trying to find Bully Sambo.
I think Eswatini should take advantage of Senegal. In as much as we admire the quality of football they play, they don't look that sharp themselves, because we've seen a couple of times with Eswatini making some inroads into that box.
Konta rising for that. It's been speared forward again by the head of Amadou Ndiaye. Peter Dlamini back to his goalkeeper Matabela. Quarter of an hour remains in this first period. Oh, lovely play from Konta, and he gets the call in his favour as well, the referee. It's not just an opponent impeding him, and being the new man, Bassem. Aiming for Zanisa, falls for Gamete. Forward by 5. Dlamini spotting the run of Sfiso Matse. Matse did score against Senegal in their previous meeting in the semi-final last year, as did Sabelo Ntanisa.
I think the combination looks good, complementing each other in terms of the runs they're making.
Plenty of numbers in the 18-yard area there, did Eswatini. Not enough space to work in. Here's Ntanisa. He was dispossessed by Chikun Ndiaye. And a clear push from Konta.
I think they're just trying to manage the situation. Senegal. Credits to Eswatini for putting pressure. They've increased the intensity.
Scowl on the face of Pap Jiao, Senegal coach, a 1-year-old born in Dakar. Last year, Senegal's very good. Yeah. Was the head of the technical study group at the 2021 beach soccer tournament. Was Pap Jiao. The yellow cards. We just alluded to for Elio Fati.
Did you know that Mark Williams is a specialist when it comes to beach soccer? In fact, I think he's got the qualifications, but he's also played for the beach soccer. He loves this sport. The nation builder himself.
Beach soccer has quite a few very different elements to your traditional football. It's played barefoot, and a lot of volleys, a lot of overhead kicks, which can't be contested, by the way, because so if someone is going up for an overhead kick, if I'm not mistaken, you cannot contest. You have to leave them to have that shot. It's a very interesting sport. It's entertaining to watch. A lot of our island nations in the COSAFA region have pretty good beach football teams as well.
But it talks to your level of fitness, eh?
Of course, running in the sand is not easy, is it?
Well, it's never easy to run. I think you can talk to our director about running in the sand.
For the broadcast team, like the players, we're getting a little bit of a cabin fever, finding different ways to entertain ourselves, keep active, and a lot of that, since we're on the coast, includes beach activities. And I think for some of the inland nations, it's been quite a novelty. Not so much for your your Mauritians and
Nah,
etc. But yeah.
I used to that.
Well, it's a team from West Africa that lead in this particular quarter-final tie. It's quarter-final number 3 at the 2022 HollywoodBets COSAFA Cup. The winner of this match will be taking on Zambia. Whilst Namibia waiting to learn who they will take on. They will face the winner of South Africa versus Mozambique. That match at 5 p.m. this afternoon right here at the Eswatini Stadium.
That's firepower right there. It's gonna be hot.
There's Mabelesa. Gwenya. Dlamini now. So his centre-half partner, Sihlangu Kwinazi. Konta. Clipped forward by Konta. Not quite sure what the intention was. Now from a quickly taken throw in Zanisa. Clever touch towards Gamedze. Senegal clear their lines. And they could be on the move here. Indeed they are. The break is on Bulisambu. That touch may prove crucial. But the chance still alive here for the Lions of Teranga. Still they have it. With Diadou. Eswatini inexplicably letting Senegal get on the ball inside the 18-yard area. Eventually they're away after a neat bit of skill. Tanisa into space for him. And the first time cross from Neliswa Dlamini. Not at all effective. Gamedze's reeled it in. Gamedze was tumbling to the ground, crumples under the challenge. And again, now you wonder, what do they implement from this kind of situation? The last few free kicks that they've lofted into the box haven't been at all effective, considering the size of the opposition goalkeeper. So it'll be very interesting what they opt for.
If you play too high, you're playing to his strength.
Well, he can't come for that one. And it's easily away by Senegal. One shot on target apiece with the possession shared pretty evenly. Senegal have bulged the back of the net, whilst Ali Ofati was able to thwart Gamedze earlier in the half. Dlamini's dispossessed. It's with Amadou Ndiaye now for Senegal. Turned on to Camara, the goal scorer. Goal scorer in slightly fortuitous fashion. And when you reflect and think that that flew into the top corner from a free kick that we suspect was not intended to go there, and that's the only shot on target, so Eswatini are doing pretty well. Tanisa's cross expelled from the box, but they'll come again. Sfiso Matse with it. Done wide to Twale's ball in. Gamedze! Then it's over from Neliswa Dlamini.
So now, who do you blame? Two players missed it. The first one didn't make contact, missed it completely. The second player, for me, what is impressive is to get the ball into the danger area.
I think Gamedze helped it along purposefully. Knew he couldn't fashion a shot from that that angle.
But that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
He should have done better there.
Well, the ball came in from Kwake Twala. The delivery from the left-hand flank that you had originally praised, and it certainly was.
Such an exciting play. To play that cross, it's such a nightmare for any defender to clear that one. The football brain to play that sort of cross.
That's good work by Musa Ndiaye, 18-year-old from Giraffe, and has lost out. Peter Dlamini. Matabela, who may feel culpable for that opening goal. And so far, the only goal. Kwanazi to Dlamini. No real pressure being applied by the Senegal front men. Finding it very difficult to escape Eswatini, and it was only a matter of time before the mistake came. Cut out there by 5. Force kindly again for Conta to Dlamini, who's offside, and it's inexcusable when you're on the flank like that. Capable of looking across at an easy call for Dimbiniana Andrea Tiana Ravello.
I have to give praise to Eswatini. Why? Because of the brand of football they're playing. I mean, if you look at how they're comfortable building from the back, where you have Mkwanazi, Makagula, so comfortable on the ball. They are not scared at all, but they believe in their style, and that's their identity. You would have thought they'll try to play. They can't play all the high balls because aerially up front, that's not their strength. But they've got to try and use the ball so effective. They look good from building up from the back. They just need to be ruthless in the box. Had 1 or 2 inroads into Senegal box, but nothing to show for it.
So a potentially hefty chunk of injury time to come at the end of this half. 2 minutes of regulation time remain. Nicely strung together by Senegal. Amadou Ndiaye. Diadou. Back to Ndiaye. Cut off by the skipper, Lindum Konta. He's been dispossessed by Musa Ndiaye. Now with Bassen. The ball across is away at the feet of Ngwenya now. This is Mtswandile Mabelesa. Lovely pass. Matse. Tanisa Dlamini is offside.
You're enjoying this, right? I am.
Yeah.
The touches
Tempo.
by Eswatini. It's such quality football, so easy on the air. Dlamini just caught offside a couple of times. Just need to time those runs. But the dominance in the midfield, the confidence that they're displaying. There's my man.
Cleared away on the volley by Ndiaye. Twala's ball in. Tanisa gets a bit lucky there. Konta has it. Release with Dlamini. guilty of missing Eswatini's best opportunity of the first half from about 3 yards out. Touched by Fires, brought down, gets the foul.
I'm sure they can't wait for halftime, Senegal. Because for me, since they scored that goal, they haven't created that many chances. They haven't even dominated possession. But you've got to give credit to Eswatini for their brand of football. But you've got to be ruthless. It's not just about the quality of football. It's what you do, the chances you create.
The 18-year-old from COSAFA Ziegenshow was flattened in the middle of the park. How's your French?
Well, I can tell you that he's saying focus, think, stay calm, dominate, use the tools that you have. And the tools is use the ball effective, get a bit, play with some intensity. But if you're leading so far, it's okay. You can just try and keep the ball going to halftime. I'm sure they'll come up a different team. But credit to Eswatini. I thought they've tried to bounce back, and they almost scored. Missed a clear-cut chance. Zameni, one of the players that missed a sitter.
Well, Pap Jiao, as a striker himself, will probably be wanting some more incisive attacking play from his side in the second period. Still a bit of time remaining before the interval here. Senegal may be able to conjure another chance. Twana intervenes. We've already seen one terrific long throw. Here's another. Headed back into danger area. Mabelesa takes care of that. Eswatini launching it long for Nsinisa. Kamedze pounces upon it. Now Kamedze. Nsinisa up ahead of him. Sabelo Nsinisa launching a shot.
I see what he wanted to do, Grant. I think it's the technique that let him down, because the minute he cuts inside, you could tell, because he's a right-footed player, wanted to try and kill the ball onto the left-hand side of the keeper, Fatih. That is way off target.
Fatih's punt upfield is the last moment of this first half. A Senegal, courtesy of that man, Lamine Camara, the 18-year-old from Generation Foot, scoring direct from a free kick from miles out. The intention, I think, was just to float it into a decent area for his teammates to attack. It flew into the top corner beyond a despairing Sandanezwe Matabela. He was bitterly disappointed in himself, but his teammates have they've certainly gone about their business in a positive way since going behind. They've conjured a few opportunities. Some of those out there guilty of missing. Senegal leading by 1-0.
With the largest sardine run on earth and once-in-a-lifetime Big Five encounters, the Zulu Kingdom is home to unforgettable experiences around every corner. From the mighty Ukahlamba Drakensberg Mountains to the warm KZN beaches, Ziyakhipha. The Zulu Kingdom is an action-adventure.
Ready for Shampopo and spinning with Hollywood bets? Play Spina Zonke online now and enter our world of fantasy. Is hot fruit a favorite of yours? Be your own king with COSAFA. Or try your luck at the Wealth Inn. With hundreds of exciting games to choose from, there is something for everyone. Get spinning now with Hollywood bets and Spina Zonke.
3, 2, 1.
Lights out, W Series is underway. Oh, that's been hit! Jamie Chadwick's been hit! Oh, look at this! There's a change in the lead! And there's the move.
Head down and get up to the car in front.
Brilliant victory in the wet for Emma Kimmerleinen. Alice Powell gets through to give her the championship lead. Jamie Chadwick retains her crown in some style. This is W Series.
We are gradually approaching the business end of the 2022 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. A semi-final spot on the line this afternoon as West African invitees Senegal knuckled down against a gutsy Eswatini side who've had to reach this stage the hard way. Well, a warm welcome to the Eswatini Stadium, a pretty toasty July afternoon in Umlazi. Those fans on the grandstand will be grateful for the shade provided. It's an absolute pleasure to be in your company for this highly anticipated quarter-final clash. Seeded Senegal received a bye to this stage, whilst Eswatini showed tremendous character to top Group B and earn their spot. Sihlangu Simnikati will have to dig awfully deep today if they wish to continue with their cup journey. Well, the winner of this match, match 15, will take on Zambia in the cup semi-finals. So they know that they have a powerful nation awaiting them in the next round as the flag bearers march out with the respective emblems of these two lands. Well, last year Eswatini came as close as they ever have to reaching the final. Their semi-final foes at that point a debuting Senegal, and the tiny mountain kingdom had their heel on the jugular midway through the first half of that tie, courtesy of Sfiso Matse and Sabelo Nzinisa, both of whom turn out today in this quarter-final tie. Senegal, though, a year ago hit back with 2 goals of their own in the second period, and a red card for Fanelo Mamba didn't help the Eswatini cause as penalties were needed to settle that encounter. From the spot, Sihlangu didn't do particularly well. They went down 3-0 in the shootout as Senegal marched on to the showpiece in Maberga. So the sides have made their way out under this bright sunlight in Umlazi in KwaZulu-Natal. I think this one is a tough one to call. As Senegal, we haven't seen any of what they're capable of in the early stages of the competition as they get us underway, which is not the case in 2021. Originally they were given a bye through to the knockout stages, but when the competition was amended, they did play in the group and they actually lost their opening game. They went down 2-1 to Namibia. So if they are to start slow this time around, it will be far more consequential as they will be out of the running for the cup competition. Mercifully though, for the teams involved at this stage, Brian Mate, if they lose, they go into the plate semi-finals. So their journey at least will continue in the competition.
It's not about the early flight anymore. They still have an opportunity. So Eswatini coach saying that Dominic saying they've got to watch the spaces, they've got to minimize the spaces.
It's taken him up to 15 senior international goals, and on the brink of equaling countryman Felix Badenhorst with 9 in terms of being the all-time record scorer at the COSAFA Cup, currently on 8. So potentially big game for him, just from a personal standpoint.
Is he aware of how important this game is for him as an individual? Because if there is, then you push for everything. I'm sure if there can be a penalty, he'll be the first to go for it.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. Remember that Nkonta opened the scoring, the captain, from the penalty spot against Mauritius in that 3-0 win. But when it really came down to it and they earned an injury time penalty against Malawi, trailing 1-0 in their second game, it was Zinisa who stepped up as the man for the big moment. Now they need to defend this, and they haven't done so particularly well. That is a free kick, whether it was meant to nestle in the top corner or not, that has bypassed the glove man and gone straight in. And Eswatini trail here to the invitees, Senegal.
It throws off out of the window the game plan that you've had. If you are Eswatini, to say we've got to stay compact, we've got to keep our structure, we've got to do something. And when you concede so early in the game, what, in the 8th minute, you concede, and you would have thought this, but he sold himself out. He came up too early. He came out too early and missed the flight of the ball because he committed too early. He couldn't even go higher because he had committed too early.
Yeah, he is. Eswatini. Again, they threaten. And it's going to be very hard to beat Ali Fati. Even in a situation like that, he stands at 2 meters tall, the Senegal goalkeeper, and he just stretched that wiry frame out to grab this.
They're not out of it. Eswatini. Similarities. Kamara is the most popular name.
Well, like William Shongwe pointed out the other day, you could have an Eswatini team that had 5 Klaminis in it. Today it's just 2. Now another decent cross in. And still alive for Senegal. Only partially cleared, and the acrobatic effort is wide of the mark from Buli Sambo.
They look nervous, they look shaky, Eswatini at the back. But then you've got to give credit to Senegal to say it is all about imposing themselves onto the opponent and taking advantage of the fact that they look a little bit disjointed. Eswatini at the back.
First time was in 2013 in the group stages. They lost 2-0 to Kenya, but 2 years later they beat Tanzania in the group stages by 1-0, and then DR Congo in the 3rd/4th playoff in 2016. Most recently it was Senegal last year, that semi-final encounter into a 2-2 with the Lions of Teranga triumphing in the shootout. It's not a bad record against guest nations, though. Now, Zinisa slipped in. Zinisa to Gamete, and Gamete shots! Is scrambled away, still alive, potentially here for Eswatini. Eventually cleared by Alison Fan. Well, Gamete ended up in so much space after receiving from Zinisa. And many around this ground will be feeling as though he should have stuck that away.
I think so. I also think that Fati did the spade well. This is Zinisa setting up his teammate. Look at the keeper coming out. He had to throw that big body to try and deny them. What a let-off. But we spoke about the mentality of bouncing back. That's exactly what they're doing.
Fati's punt upfield is the last moment of this first half. A Senegal, courtesy of that man, Lamine Camara, 18-year-old from Generation Foot, scoring direct from a free kick from miles out. The intention, I think, was just to float it into a decent area for his teammates to attack. It flew into the top corner beyond a despairing Sandanezwe Matabela. He was bitterly disappointed in himself, but his teammates have They've certainly gone about their business in a positive way since going behind. They've conjured a few opportunities. Some of those out there guilty of missing. Senegal leading by 1-0.
Ready for Shampopo and spinning with Hollywood Bets? Play Spina Zonke online now and enter our world of fantasy. Is hot fruit a favorite of yours? Be your own king with COSAFA. Or try your luck at the Wealth Inn. With hundreds of exciting games to choose from, there is something for everyone. Get spinning now with Hollywood Bets and Spina Zonke.
Welcome back to the Eswatini Stadium in Mlazi. We are enjoying quarterfinal number 3 at the 2022 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. Senegal versus Eswatini. The guest side from West Africa have the advantage after 45 minutes. Scoring courtesy of a free kick from Lamine Camara. And their efforts to try and change things here this afternoon. Eswatini are bringing on Pilanim Konto. Coming off, perhaps unsurprisingly, Neliswa Dlamini, the youngster who missed from point-blank range late in the first period after being set up by Sandile Kamedze. Little flick from him, following a low cross from Sibilo and Zanisa. So Ben Ibrahim's whistle gets us back underway here on the trailing side. Eswatini restarting the action. I think most would agree, and the man alongside me among them, Brian Mati, that Eswatini didn't look overawed by the task at hand in trying to get back into the game now that they trail and had opportunities to equalize. They just were not capable of capitalizing on them.
I think they could do better. They bounced back after conceding very early stages of the game. They started dominating possession once or twice. They got the ball into the danger areas. They've got to be ruthless. Someone asked a question, fatigue, because they look sharper than the Senegalese after conceding. I guess that's been their trademark, to be able to bounce back. Can they? Trading 1-0.
Well, they did it against Malawi in their second group game. Now they have to do it against a very fresh Senegal side who have been in camp for quite some time. So they gathered this particular group of players because they will be contesting Chan qualifiers at the end of this month, trying to reach the tournament that will be held in Algeria. They face Liberia in a two-legged tie at the end of July, and then in the second round, if they make it through, will be facing Guinea. So this team, even whilst the league was still being contested, being assembled, they would come together for camp and then they would depart again to take part in their domestic obligations. They had a decent spell together prior to this tournament. They arrived here on Sunday morning, made a trip from Dakar to Kinshasa, then through to Johannesburg, and finally the last leg of their journey on to Durban. Now on the offensive here are Senegal. It's a promising start from them. Ball nicked away and promptly handing over possession again are Eswatini as they look for the man who's often their lone outlet in the form of Nzanisa.
There's a player who's rather gingerly, seems to be doing a bit of a trouble. Masai Faye is number 4. He's struggling. He's actually indicated on the bench that he might want to come off.
Oh, that's a real shame. The 18-year-old was injured about 2 minutes from time in the first half, and I think they said to him, well, let's bring you out for the second period and see how you go. Now Gamete looking to skin his man, and Gamete ever so close. Well, he took on Chekun Di, beat him for pace, and then launched a shot at goals just wide.
What a run. Gamete. Better option, take it to the right hand side. But hey, we saw a goal, you and I, yesterday, defying the odds.
Oh, Wendell
but
from
only
Namibia,
only that was played almost lower, much more lower, as opposed to playing it high. It's a good start for Eswatini.
I doubt we'll see another goal like Radad Wendell scored yesterday for quite some time. Joining Galaxy man, sneaking it in from about as tight an angle as you could possibly take a shot from. The ball was virtually touching the byline when he struck it. There's Lamine Diadou. And back to Al-Hajj Balde. Now in the center of the park with Diadou again. He's been dispossessed. Eswatini on the move. A new man on the park. Nkonta pulling the trigger.
I think they were told to say increase the intensity, try and play wide. So says Coach Dominic Kunene.
Dominic Kunene is also previously overseen the national under-20 side of Eswatini. Appointed senior coach in January of 2020. And well known for his accomplishments inside his homeland. His ball was good, it was sharp. Gamete just couldn't control.
A player down for Eswatini. I'll tell you now who that is. We've had a good start. Not too sure who that is, but should be a bit of a concern. This is early stages of the second half. Just when they need to increase the intensity, and they're starting to do that.
Mzwandile Mabelesa, who was down, our view of him was originally obscured. But that will be a big loss if indeed he can't continue. Great crowd out here at the Kings Eswatini Stadium. Not much for the Eswatini fans and indeed those who have adopted Eswatini as their second team to cheer for at the moment, because they are worried about Balesa at the moment.
Some
So
teams
goals
get
in his nose,
supported. Yeah, some teams get supported more than the others. I was surprised, in fact, when Malawi played, the crowd they had, the fans that came out to watch them.
Even when they'd already been eliminated.
Yeah.
Mate down for Gamedze. Kwanazi, he's lost out. Eswatini have been defeated in their previous two quarter-final matches. In 2018 they lost 1-0 to Lesotho, and in 2017 went down 2-1 to Zimbabwe. The most recent success in the last 8 came in 2016. They defeated Zambia 4-2 on penalties after a 0-0 draw in regulation time. All told, 9 previous quarter-final appearances dating back to 1999. They've won 4 of those, twice on penalties though, and they've lost 5 outright.
Battle continues. You know, there's a big occasion when you see your colleagues wearing a tie, right? There's a big occasion coming up. Never seen this gentleman wearing a tie. Must have hired it somewhere here in KZN. It's all dressed up. Tisman, Timber. Went and hired a tie just for the occasion, the game that's coming up now.
Skips away from his man, and the cross in is a fierce one. Musindiai was able to pull the trigger. Lovely from Swiso Mate, still he has it. Mate eventually dispossessed.
I think Senegal are trying to drop the tempo, while Eswatini want to increase the intensity. Of course they have to try and get an equalizer, but 50-50 here. Good skill.
You have to wonder how much longer Alassane Faye can continue.
At some point I thought he had an issue with the hamstring. Now he's holding on to the rib cage.
Double substitution for Senegal. Coming out is jersey number 4, Alassane Faye, being replaced.
This will help them. I think there's a sub that's about to happen.
And another substitution for Senegal.
Senegal.
Is jersey number 20, Lamine Diallo, being replaced.
It's possible they'd already planned to withdraw Faye, and that is the case. Does depart. And then they bring on in his place Usman Sao. So on for Faye. And also see the departure of Dedu. Coming on in his place is yet another Ndiaye, this time Al Hajj Ndiaye.
Eswatini themselves are about to make a change.
Spinisa Ngwenya making way. And they see fit to bring on Skumbuzo Magagula. Tanisa waiting in the centre, and Tanisa diving header just wide. Oh, he's a terrific athlete, isn't Tanisa?
whatever the coach said, it seems to be kicking in because there's chances are plenty. The diving header, if it was on target and it was a goal, would have been spectacular. He remains a deadly target man for Eswatini. Someone is seeing yellow.
Yeah. A yellow card for Alhaj Baldet.
I think they are aware that Eswatini are intensifying the pressure on them, so the stop starts will help Senegal, or they're hoping that it will help them.
Our rendition of Shosholoza ringing out, trying to get behind the Southern African nation that trail with their West African adversaries here at the King Eswatini Stadium. They're coming upon the hour mark in Mlazi. Magagula with some defensive work to do. There's a loose touch that allowed Mabeleza to step in and won it, and then was fouled. Swisomatsi seeks to turn away from danger. He's lucky to hear the referee's whistle. Skumbuzo Magagula, first appearance for him. Konta with the header. Now Pelanim Konto. Back to his captain. Sprayed across field. That was really nicely done for Twala, who is offside.
I'm marveling at how they're switching play, how they have asserted themselves on this game in the second half. Eswatini, the intensity at which they're approaching this game, I'm not so
No,
I'm
he's
not
not.
convinced.
He's not.
Definitely not offside at all.
Oh man, that was a big opportunity, and unfortunately our assistant referee Asmit Tilak from Mauritius hasn't managed to get that one correct. Nagamete stabbing it through. Chance here, and it's in! Eswatini have the equalizer, and it's come from the bench. Tilanim Konto.
You cannot be called Pelanim Konto. That's the spear, and you are blunt, because you've got to be able to pierce through the opponents, because the fight is on in the second half. They've increased the intensity, and that's how they do the business. We spoke about the fighting mentality that they have, the ability to bounce back in situations. This is how they do it. Well set up. Had a goal written all over it. It's a difficult one, but it's the decision making to place it. The bounces were awkward. The Senegal defense to deal with it.
Yeah.
Abomnaga bajabulile. Utawulunga sekulungile bomnaga.
Well, it's his 6th appearance for the national team, and he scored his first goal for Sitlango Syndicati. The main man, Sabelo Ntanisa, followed it in just to make sure, in case it was going to stray past the upright. Senegal, an opportunity to immediately restore their advantage. Scrambled away by Eswatini. Konto. He was swiftly closed down and managed to hold off his man. Now he gets it upfield. The Eswatini goal scorer.
I think Senegal are struggling to to match the intensity of Eswatini, the dominance they're having in the midfield, the runs, positive runs they're making.
And it doesn't make sense when you review the last week. Eswatini playing their 4th game in 7 days, but they are outrunning and outworking Senegal, whether just by pure grit and determination or fierce national pride. Somehow they have the upper hand in this second half, just in terms of intensity.
Well, it talks to two things. One, the mentality of the players, the ability to believe that the tougher it is, that's where character has got to come out. But also you look at playing to their strength, their level of fitness is pretty high, and they're able to manage themselves. I mean, come out in the second half and increase the intensity. The subs have actually worked as well.
Played in by Bessin for Senegal. It's away by Peter Dlamini, a man who debuted in this tournament. Alhaj Balde tosses it long.
I think in terms of fighting spirit, effort, exciting football, you talk about Botswana, you talk about the show that Eswatini have been putting up. Stood out. I mean, it's been exciting to watch.
And one mercifully for Matabela is straight down his throat. The effort to come from So.
What can they do, Senegal?
Mentioned in 2021 in Quebec, they needed time to hit their stride. Lost their opener to Namibia. Won the 3 subsequent group games to top that group. As a seeded team, they begin in the knockouts. They have to get with the pace immediately.
They have to, and I think they've been caught up in that pacey Eswatini, who have really stepped up a few years.
Chance to measure the cross. It's ever so close to making its way over to Twala, the left full back, who have motored up to provide an option. He's changed his boots at half-time as well as Twala. He's playing much further forward now, even with Magagula on the park. It does appear as though they've pushed the 20-year-old forward.
Well, they've got to do that if you want to bounce back. Get more offensive.
Tackle from Konto not clean enough.
The cruelty of this game is that you could be dominating. Yes, you've equalized, but you've got to try and control the excitement levels where you could get disorganized and lapses of concentration in situations like this. You could easily get punished.
Yeah, here's the goal scorer taking the free kick. I wonder if Matabela was having flashbacks to the first 5 minutes of this match. Yeah, a free kick from the very same man was past him. Magagula. They used his strength to shepherd the opponent away from play. This is Alhaj Balde. Floats one up. Matabela had watched it well. Nagamete pouncing on the loose ball.
It was not with a handball. I think he knows it. You can see from his smile that he knows that it was handball.
Swagger about him at the moment. Medze strolling around the park with a bit of a grin on his face. He wasn't included in the 11 the opening 2 matches, but now has staked his claim in that starting lineup. Eswatini began in brilliant fashion with a 3-0 win over Mauritius. Nagamete! Difficult to get that out of his feet. And he's stabbed it over the goal.
Then there's a goal coming. They've taken the initiative. They become a better team in the second half. Eswatini.
Did I not say in the first half that I backed them to score just based purely on the stats and the run that they're currently on? They've extended that to 8 consecutive games in which they've scored at least a goal, and that is their longest scoring run in the COSAFA Cup. Well, if they win, they could win consecutive games for the first time since 2016 when they beat Seychelles and Madagascar in back-to-back matches. And always a threat. And I've heard the phrase used before for Eswatini, this is their World Cup.
And you've got to make the best of it. You've got to improve your players. You've got to improve their beliefs. To get them to believe that they can also get some lucrative contracts.
Now that's ricocheted very kindly off Mabelesa. That's Peter Dlamini has been excellent at the back since the very beginning of this tournament. He and the other ever-present defenders in the back line. Conceded just 2 goals, and today's more of a flip free kick.
You know, we call it flick, a fluke free kick, but try ask the man that took it whether he meant it. He'll tell you, yes, I meant to do that.
Yeah. This could be Twala. He's easily identifiable with his blue boots in the first half. It isn't Twala. Still, like a little earlier on, waiting to identify the players obscured from our view. This doesn't look particularly good. Outside of your picture, it does appear as though it's Nisa. We have La Liga representatives in the house as well. Marco, I believe. Operating man light, Eswatini. Now across to the edge of the area. That was purposeful or not, it fell at the feet of So, and he launched an effort which was comfortably handled by Matabela.
Well taken shot. Tricky for the keeper, but made it look easy.
Denise has trudged back on, by the way. So, aimless ball, cut up on Kwanazi. Eswatini contested their first ever COSAFA Cup quarter-final back in 1999. They managed to beat Zimbabwe on penalties after a 1-1 draw. It was touch and go for a moment. Bungani Mdluli equalized really late on after Ketano Tembo had scored the opener for the Warriors of Zimbabwe. Not present at the 2022 edition of the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. Still currently sanctioned by FIFA, as are Kenya. They are a big miss, the record winners. They would have been hoping to redeem themselves after what was a relatively poor showing in the Eastern Cape a year ago. Oh, lovely work down the right-hand flank. 3 waiting in white shirts. And that one lands on the roof of the net.
It's a good move. I think a few disappointing things for me, because when you have a player that has gone down the line and the options for him are very few. Look at how he's delaying to see what options he's got. There was only one, but the goalkeeper had already anticipated that. And Eswatini.
Surprised not to see more of a surprise argument from Kamedze, because by implication of this being a goal kick, he shot that directly over the bar from 3 yards up, which I don't think was the case. Ali Eswatini made himself big. Again, brilliant contribution from Konto. Came on to score and crossed quite wonderfully for Kamedze. Shoshan also ringing out a little earlier on, another crowd favourite, Asambe Nono, and the atmosphere ramping up. Many here will be hoping that Eswatini can progress. Sutu Queen in the mix as well. That's what 2 meters looks like, Brian. You're closer to 2 than I am.
2 minutes.
Hard to identify him with the mask on. Ziput Langalala is watching on. He doesn't take his eyes off the football for a second. Such a student of the game.
Good spectacle. When you see the big bosses, the VIPs, then you can start telling that it's getting hot. Things are beginning to happen. Teams are beginning to pack their bags. Some of them keep booking flights to go back home. It's starting to happen now.
Well, for the winner of this match, there will be 2 matches to come, a semi-final. And either the final or the bronze medal match. But even for the loser, they will contest the plate semi-finals and a potential second match for the winners of those, the plate final. So it gives the losing quarterfinalists an opportunity to continue their journey.
I also think that there's a bit of biasness, because South African boys are about to take the field at some point. Another third play down.
For the time being, Eswatini continue on. Kwanazi. Nabilesa. Effectively shielded with Konto at his back.
Papchao,
yep.
Down.
He retired in 2014, did Bak Jiao. Is early to mid-30s at that point. Retired at 33 years of age. A fairly brief stint with the national team. A couple of years in the early 2000s, but was part of their 2002 World Cup squad as well. Certainly worrying for the 23-year-old from Giraffe, that being Bulisambu.
So there was a concern, of course, in terms of the level of fitness for Eswatini. Guess what's happening? The Senegalese players are the ones that are having issues in terms of cramps.
You know, maybe they're just relishing breathing in this thick, tasty sea-level air, being used to a thinner variant up in the mountains of their homeland. That's a promising looking run here, and the tackle from behind prompts the referee to call a foul in favor of Senegal's Fisomatse, the guilty party here, bringing down Al-Hajj Ndiaye.
I think he was exaggerating it. Yes, it was an illegal challenge. Has anybody got some power? Can we see what we saw in the first round? Is it possible to have history repeat itself?
Chances haven't been regularly forthcoming for this Senegal side since their opener. It is a direct effort on goal. Matabela Min shuffles across to make the claim. Now he's got it quickly out of his feet. And Senegal players racing back to try and provide some defensive cover. They have regathered possession here. Out on the right-hand side with Basset. Haj Balde with the ball in. Struggling to clear their lines here, Sihlangu Simnikati. Eventually it is away. Fisomatse looking long. Talisa challenging but losing out in the air.
Substitution for Senegal. Chris, coming out is jersey number 14.
Senegal are withdrawing
Replaced by jersey number 21.
18-year-old Moussa Ndiaye.
And another substitution for Senegal. Coming out is jersey number 10, Bobby Junior Sambo. Being replaced by jersey number 17.
And coming on for him is Edeng. As well as Nanya Fall. injection of energy here with Tereng on the ball. Scraped out to that left-hand side. Ooh, hooked towards goal by the new man on the park foul. He's 23 next month, the Generation Foot player. He's mustered their most recent effort. Now this is Fisomatse for Eswatini. Over to Mabilesa. Senegal will keep this team together for the Chan qualifiers, as well Eswatini, all of their players locally based. They face Botswana in a fortnight's time. The winner of that game will face the winner of the Seychelles versus Madagascar for the right to represent the COSAFA region at the Chan tournament in Algeria. Gamete applying some pressure here. Second verse for Eswatini. Eswatini looking to make a couple of changes. Gamedze will be one of those to depart, and Liam Manisa is on for his third substitute appearance of the tournament, and having pushed him a little further upfield, it does appear as though Kwake Twala has also played his part. Andy Junior Magagula, who played just the first game and was quite impactful, had plenty of chances to score, is now afforded another opportunity in the knockout rounds. It's 4 changes for Eswatini so far, 5 for Senegal, so they're full complement. Dangerously is Melon Dia. Deng sweeps the ball across fields. Shot blocked away. 5 minutes to play. There will be penalties upon the conclusion of this match, if indeed it is still deadlocked. No extra time until the final itself. Big opportunity here, and the flag has been raised, but Matebela, to his credit, made the save in any case.
It's that time or that stage of the game where your lapses of concentration from players, you're likely to get punished. They have not been playing well in the second half. Senegal, someone might argue to say even in the first half they did not play their best football. At least they had something to show for it. Now it's all about avoiding that extra time, not creating that many chances.
Well, Dominic Kunene is struggling to hide his nerves.
Is he dreading the penalty situation?
And potentially, especially when you go into the penalty shootout as the team that probably should have won the game, just on the balance of chances.
But I also think that at the back of their minds are thinking, how do we beat that Alufati based on that height? But I tell you, it's the easiest thing to do, because when he's that tall, you hit it hard, low, to the side. say goalkeepers take time when you are that tall to go down and be that agile goalkeeper, good reflexes.
Edouard Mendy, the number 1 for Senegal, suddenly flying the flag for African goalkeepers. High hopes for Ali Fati. Just 23 years of age. He has quite the career ahead of him. Free kick for Eswatini here. We haven't seen one so well positioned for quite some time. So what do they opt for here? Again, considering the heights of the goalkeeper. It's a relatively low ball flung in. Melissa spotted an option. Konto, the goal scorer. Tanisa blasted it over.
Bashile Eswatini wathi inaka wendani manje? Wenda kanjani mina? Zenisa. Well set up for him. Someone played Eswatini. Look at his positioning. He's expecting it to come back. It's playing back to him. The technique, not good at all.
They scored 3 and 3. Sabella Tanisa. Huge opportunity for him to bag his 4th goal at the 2022 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup, and what would have been his 9th overall in the tournament, taking him level with countryman Felix Badenhorst. So dart in behind made by Balde, recognized by Skubudu Magagula. Tedeng rides the challenge of Matse, and then a poor ball. It's cut out by Mkonto. Eswatini have won it here. Contact from Mkonto. Taken away from him by Kamara. We're into 4 minutes of additional time.
So what do you think? Penalties or we're going to have drama?
Does look likely now.
I'm forever for drama. No one of those last minute painful.
That was the case when Eswatini met Malawi
Yes.
in their second group game.
Yes.
On a penalty deep into injury time that was converted by Zinisa. That meant that they still headed into their game against Lesotho, their final group game, needing a win. Lesotho could afford to draw. Eswatini came away with a 2-0 victory over their rivals. Matapelo off his line to claim. Quickly hoists us upfield. Not accurate enough to pick out Mkonto. So Besson. Well, having taken the lead so early, Paptiao would have thought that his side would go on to steamroll a weary Eswatini. That has not been the case at all.
But Paptiao won't be happy. I think his team in the second half dipping Pap. Not the best performance from them. Haven't been fluid in their passing. They've gone flat. That's a translation for Pap.
They have been flat. But they push now in the final moments to try and steal it. Just one man arriving.
Yeah, they look a bit disjointed. This is not the fluid type of football. They've played in patches. It's a sort of team where you can't even single out one player that...
Now Ntanisa. Sabelo Ntanisa to be the hero. He's laid it off. Mate has it. Someone needs to launch a shot. It breaks kindly here. Caught those shots. The referee's right there.
Not given.
Not given.
Was it or was it not? He wasn't far from the action. Did he get it right? Good combination play. Good skill there. Was it? I'd like to see the game different angle. I really want to see the game different angle because I'm convinced as well that there's definitely a penalty.
Seconds remaining here, an opportunity for Senegal to win it. What a save that is from Matibela. And now he'll be looking to replicate that in the shootout. Having surely prevented what would have been the goal, the game-winning goal. Magnificent from the glove man.
It's that time to smash it back. But no, he wasn't going to allow it. He was definitely Matabela, never.
And with that, the final whistle has gone, and to the dreaded shootout we go. Matabela with the spotlight already on him. There's injury time, heroics will hopefully buoy him towards a great shootout performance. The young Senegal contingent who certainly looked a little livelier once they brought on those subs. Fal in particular had a couple of opportunities. Mkonto off the bench also proved impactful for Eswatini with the goal that he scored. And with a spot in the last 4 on the line, we will need to settle this match from 12 yards. Eswatini came through the group stages. They had to play 3 games before reaching the last state. They've met Senegal here, and across 90 minutes there's nothing to separate them. It's 1-1.
With the largest sardine run on earth and once-in-a-lifetime Big 5 encounters, the Zulu Kingdom is home to unforgettable experiences around every corner. From the mighty Ukahlamba Drakensberg Mountains to the warm KZN beaches, Ziyakhipha. The Zulu Kingdom is an action-adventure paradise waiting to be explored. Unforgettable happens here. Zwagala! Zwagala!
Thanks for sticking with us at the King's Eswatini Stadium as we just assess the game as a whole via the stats. 50-50 in terms of possession. Eswatini lost 10 shots to the 8 of Senegal. Senegal hit the target 6 times, Eswatini 7 in total, and that's yielded just 2 goals, 1 apiece. Now the goalkeepers, who had a fair bit of work to do over the course of regulation time, will come front and centre in the shootouts. Here's how we find ourselves at 1-0. An early goal for Senegal. 9 of their 11 starting players debuting today. Amongst them, the 18-year-old Lamine Camara from Generation Foot. He launched one into the 18-yard area, not necessarily at goal, but it flew into the top corner.
You know, I'm tempted to say he actually meant it, but this is the equalizer.
And the equalizer came via the boots of Pilani Mkonto, his first international goal. Sabelo Nzanisa at the back post watched it in. It's a terrific effort to just cushion it past the goalkeeper, really. It was on the bounce and difficult skill to execute. And that was how Eswatini clawed themselves level. They had opportunities to win it. In fact, both teams did. And this is for Eswatini. Probably one of their better opportunities. Gamedze inside the 6-yard area. He thinks it should have been a corner, thwarted there by Eswatini. That was a good chance, but perhaps an even better one came a little later in proceedings for Eswatini. This is the final moment of the game. Brilliant save from Matibela. The chance I'm alluding to is the one for Nzanisa. It was well off target, but he was set up so brilliantly by Mkonto. This time around, in the dying moments of the game, fell in on goal. Matibela with the outstretched boots to thwart him, and to penalties we go. Customary instructions being issued. No real need for words from the referee, Ben Ibrahim, although he is giving a thorough breakdown of what's expected, but his reenactment of how the penalty shootout should go and how the goalkeepers should keep their feet on the line, at least 1 foot on the line, very clear.
Interesting times. Who is nervous? Who is bold enough? Who's much calmer under pressure? Those are the things, and the qualities that you need in this sort of situation.
Eswatini have never lost a penalty shootout at the quarter-final stage. They've been involved in 2 at the last 8. They won against Zimbabwe in 1999 and against Zambia in 2016. First spot kick will be taken by a substitute, Al-Habji Ndiaye. Sidles up and waits for Matibela to commit. Strokes it past him. Senegal have successfully completed their first spot kick.
Took it well. Al-Habji Ndiaye wasn't predictable. Just came straight. Supposed to go into the side. Sometimes when you go to the side, just allows the keeper to anticipate. Pressure is on.
Pressure is on. The skipper, tasked with taking the first spot kick. He scored Eswatini's first goal of the competition from 12 yards out against Alvin Michel of Mauritius. Now up against Eswatini. Much more intimidating competitor. And he has made absolutely sure by depositing it in the top corner, Lindo Mkonta.
Wow. That's a brilliant penalty. So many other reasons. One that stands out is because if you look at the reach of the keeper Faye, when you play it that high, you can't get to the end of that one. Just posed right at the corner. Well taken penalty.
Ambling up to the spots now is another man who was introduced off the bench, Usman So. Another who plays for Russian Foot in Dakar. Usman Sow, unerring. That's a clean hit, good take.
I like the quality, the power so far in terms of the qualities of the penalty. No chance for the keeper, well placed.
Well, this is the second shootout of the competition. First contested by Zambia and Botswana yesterday evening. And it was the Copper Bullets of Zambia who emerged victorious in that one. Just one penalty kick missed by Mangola of the Zebras. Manisa, clever take from him. It's 2 apiece after 4 takes.
The South African Opa Manisa would have been proud of this one. Got you there. Well taken penalty.
All square. As Shiko and Dion approaches the mark to take Senegal's third. And Dion took his time, measured the run up, and slotted it away with ease.
The quality of the penalty, just too good. There's no chance to the keeper at all, even if you go the right direction. But the power, the technique, too nice.
You know these pens have been rehearsed, and you see such quality. Now here's a man who possesses plenty of quality. Sabelo Ntanisa turns 31 at the end of this month.
Pressure on him.
Huge pressure.
Big pressure up against a big boy.
Ntanisa makes absolutely no mistake, and it's 3-all.
That's the quality for me. Well rehearsed. I guess they somehow practice these things, but it's not to give the keeper any chance. Whether you guess the right way, it's the power, the technique makes it difficult for the keeper so far.
So how deep into the roster will we potentially go? This is the point after 6 successful penalties, where the 6th and 7th takers start to get a little jittery.
Those ones are not the actual designated penalty takers. They're the options left.
Eswatini players willing foul to miss.
Ouch.
And he does not oblige. That
Ouch.
is a cool penalty.
Ouch. That's all I can say. Ouch.
I see.
Stunning kick.
Next.
He looks nervous.
Yep.
The Benny McCarthy song, "You're making me nervous." He looks nervous. It happens.
Magagula. Reintroduced from the bench, having sat out the past 2 matches. Magagula just forced it past Aliofatu, who got a glove to that. Couldn't keep it out.
It's a huge relief. Like we said, he looks so nervous. There's another man looking very nervous.
Amin Kamara. I would have been hoping that his early goal still separated the sides come 90 minutes. He could have avoided this protest. But he steps up to take the crucial 5th penalty for Senegal.
Doesn't convince me, to be honest, but could be wrong.
Shuffles up a little stutter and he stuck it away. And now Eswatini have no other recourse but to convert their 5th.
It's true, never to judge a book by its cover. He had it in him. He knew what he wanted to do and took it so well. Clinically.
Well, it took an absolute age for Peter Dlamini to depart the players assembled on the centre line and make his way to the penalty mark.
Because he knows.
There appeared to be a little bit of deliberation even. So
Yeah.
usually the penalty takers are designated before. Not sure what the delay was.
I think he knows how important this particular one is. Because then if he scores, then we are on to sudden death.
The man who debuted just a week ago, Peter Dlamini, the centre half. Oh, that was. Well, that looked like he plays a little further up the field.
Now the fun starts. Because we've seen good penalties taken. Now the fun starts. Those who are not normally the designated ones, those that you always say, you're not bad, you good, go for it. This is the real challenge now.
Plenty of very uneasy players out there. Seems like Peter Dlamini just giving some advice to the upcoming takers about what he may have recognized from the young goalkeeper, the position goalkeeper Fati. Matabela against Al-Haj Balde, the only capped outfielder for Senegal before today, the 11 that started, and he has converted with aplomb. Top corner.
The quality. I still maintain the quality of penalties. So convincing. Right up there. No chance for the keeper because you're not going to dive that high. The placement has been superb. What do you think? Pressure is on, sudden death. I mean,
experienced players stepping up. Sihlangum Mkhwanazi.
experienced players tend to get too nervous.
Mkhwanazi. Oh, he's outfoxed the goalkeeper brilliantly here. A dozen successful penalties. We are at 6-all.
He goes to the left. He plays it to the left-hand side of the keeper.
Now this is Melondia.
Is this the time when he needs to be very mellow in approach? Not to be nervous. But precision is required. Placement.
Well, Matibela has an issue with how Melondia has placed the ball. This is out a 6-step run up. And Diai straight through Matibela.
It's a huge relief. Because I don't think he was too sure of what he wanted to do. Just hit it straight and hope that at some point it'll go in. You can tell how relieved he was. Watch it. Look, he's looking down.
Oh,
This is a really, it's a question of power. He's just beating for power. Who's going to blink first?
Well, we are deep into the reluctant takers now.
Yes.
With Konto making his way to the mark. Scored from open play. Now he has to repeat the feats from 12 yards. Konto, the hero off the bench with the equalizer that forced them to the shootout. Can he keep it going? Yes, he can.
The quality of these penalties, for me, have just been too good. Plus.
Former young Buffaloes mentor, he enjoyed so much success in the cup in his homeland. Now a national team mentor. We'll be pleased to see the crowd getting behind his boys. It's goalkeeper versus goalkeeper for Senegal's kick number 8. Eswatini up against Matabela, and Fati has slotted it.
Was it Kennedy Mwini? We shouldn't talk Kennedy Mwini. Itumele Nkune is watching. Itumele Nkune is watching because these are fun moments of the game.
So the burden on the GK again. This time Matabela. Whatever you can do,
I can do it. I can do even better. Took it well.
And a good sporting moment between the two.
Yes. That's what this thing is all about. Team spirit. That's well taken. Well taken. Exciting moments. It's the lottery.
This is Valerie Bassin. And Bassin has gone virtually straight down the middle.
The dress rehearsal on these penalties. They are so well drilled. They are putting up a show from the goalkeepers to everyone thus far who's gone to take the penalties. They've looked convincing. Even though some walking towards the ball, they look nervous, but the execution has been impressive.
Magagula, who made just his first appearance today, slotted in full back to allow Twala to advance a little further upfield. Fati staring him down, and Magagula rolls it past him. 9-all.
9-all.
18 successful penalties in succession.
Beautiful. Well taken penalties. Credit to the boys who are taking these penalties. It's the work behind the scenes to get them to be so clinical in terms of taking these penalties. Well drilled from both sets of coaches.
Got another sub in Tideng. And when you get to this point, ostensibly this is the consensus second worst penalty taker of the 11 still on the park. But the quality of the penalties hasn't diminished all too much. Tideng. Again, it's an excellent take.
We're about to witness history, I'm telling you. We are about to witness history. Imagine. These are most convincing penalties.
Yeah, just opened his foot.
And when he plays it there is no chance to get. There's no keeper that can get to that end of that one. Even the coach is nervous, Mr. Dominic. He knows how important this last one is for Eswatini. Abomnaga.
Mabelesa, who's had an excellent tournament. Oh, and he's missed. It's agony for Eswatini as Senegal march on to the semi-finals. Mabelesa hangs his head. A joy for Senegal, who really had to fight at times to stay in this contest as Eswatini hit their strides. Mabelesa not able to be as accurate as the 19 takers before him.
Well, everything about that was wrong. One, leaning backwards. Two, the technique was completely wrong as well.
Well, 2021 finalists Senegal move on to the last four. They drew 1-1 with Eswatini in 90 minutes before winning 10-9 on penalties. What a game that was at the Kings Eswatini Stadium.
I'm pitch side with the men.
Madagascar already turning their attentions to, well, from eye on the prize to some sightseeing now, because they've been knocked out after Namibia took them out. They'll be then playing the plate, and nonetheless, this is your main course.